Have you ever asked yourself why some people are so much cared about and protected? Africa, like many parts of the world, has hundreds of incredibly important, powerful, and influential persons. African leaders in particular are the most protected on the continent. Their security details are top-notch and impenetrable. They move with hundreds of bodyguards and motorcade while out of their presidential residence. Their presidential residents are also heavily constructed and guarded against any form of invasion. Most presidencies are constructed miles away from city centers, and no house is allowed to be constructed within certain distances. You are not even allowed to go close to those areas without clearance. These personal protection officers are seen as the prerogative of royalty, celebrities, and political officials alike. They keep the presidents safe from kidnappings and attempted assassinations. Some people have explained that presidents require maximum protection in order to carry out their mandate and serve without fear. Here are the 10 African presidents you have no chance of attacking even if you wanted to. We begin with 10. President Alassane Ouattara, Ivory Coast. He has been ruling this country since the year 2010. President Ouattara is usually accompanied by heavily armed vehicles and personnel each time he sets out for an official task. Whenever the Ivorian president wants to travel, a convoy of high-speed motorbikes and armored land cruisers usually follow him. President Ouattara lives at the Presidential Palace in Abidjan, which is one of the most protected places in Ivory Coast. His presidential car is escorted by security men who accompany him on foot until he is out of sight of the public. It is also important to note that Ivory Coast has one of Africa's most stunning presidential motorcades. 9. Interim President Mamadi Doumbouya, Guinea. Mamadi Doumbouya was sworn in as interim president of Guinea on October 2021. His predecessor, Alpha Condé, had 20 personal bodyguards aside from the presidential guards, but his security was switched to the current interim president, Mamadi Doumbouya, after a military coup. President Doumbouya lives at the magnificent Sékou building, which is the residential home for heads of state in Guinea, located in Conakry. He normally rides on a Humvee's vehicle on land and on choppers when using aerospace. As you have always been doing, click the like button if you find this video interesting before we move ahead. Next, 8. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, Egypt. Since 2014, Abdel Fattah took over control of the great Egyptian nation. He has been the president of Egypt for the past 8 years, during which he has been greatly protected by the military. He is always accompanied by about 10 bodyguards or more, and his presidential motorcade consists of a number of armored Mercedes-Benz vehicles, high-speed motorbikes, and a Land Cruiser. President Abdel Fattah's vehicle is a 2013 special Mercedes S-Class car, which has a special black number plate on it. The residence and office of the President of Egypt is the Heliopolis Palace found in Cairo. Just like the preceding ones you have heard about, this structure where the president lives is surrounded by a good number of security men. 7. President Paul Kagame, Rwanda. He was once a military officer and is now the 4th president of Rwanda, who came to power in 2000. President Paul Kagame is one of the few highly esteemed presidents in Africa, although he has been in power for more than 2 decades. The president of Rwanda lives in a place known as Urugwero Village, constructed in the 1970s. This place is known by many as a very hospitable one because of its protective nature. President Kagame appears on the list of the top 10 most protected presidents in the continent, with enormous security details. He rides in an armored Range Rover Sentinel, which costs more than $500,000. His motorcade has numerous security motorcycles, a high-speed Mercedes-Benz vehicle, land cruisers, and all of them are usually been accompanied by many bodyguards. 6. President Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa. The renowned South African business guru and political figure, Cyril Ramaphosa became the president of South Africa in 2018 after the elections. Unlike other presidents, President Ramaphosa rides on crossovers rather than sentinels, cruisers, or limousines. His vehicle is specially customized with display riders, and he also has a well-armored motorcade. President Cyril Ramaphosa lives in Malamba and Lopfu, a residential home for presidents located in Pretoria. The South African Police Service takes full responsibility for the protection of the president. It also acts as a guard of honor during ceremonial occasions. 5. President Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria. Muhammadu Buhari is a Nigerian politician who has been ruling as president since 2015. He is a retired Nigerian Army Major General who served as the country's military head of state between 1983 and 1985. At the time, the country underwent a military coup. He is the president of the most populous country in Africa, so his safety is one of the country's major priorities. The Nigerian presidential palace is called Aso Rock Presidential Villa. It is one of the most noticeable structures in Abuja City. It is found in a 3-arm zone of Abuja, and so its security and protection are well assured. The villa is currently under the protection of the Presidential Guard Brigade, which also performs ceremonial duties for the president. President Buhari's impressive and armed motorcade is very difficult to penetrate. It is one of the largest in Africa, which consists of special security guards with motorbikes and other vehicles. 4. President Emmerson Mnangagwa, Zimbabwe. The high-profile president of Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, is a revolutionist who took power on November 2017 after a coup. Zimbabwe has faced serious unrest over the years. Therefore, the need for the president to be protected becomes a priority for the government. The presidential house of Zimbabwe, situated at Harare, at the heart of the nation, is one of the country's most protected buildings. The Presidential Guarding Service of Zimbabwe is in charge of protecting the head of state. During public manifestations, President Mnangagwa is usually surrounded by heavy security forces, and this also happens when he is on official duty out of the country. He rides in a limousine vehicle surrounded by his bodyguards, and his motorcade consists of high-speed motorcycles, armored Mercedes-Benz, Land Cruisers, and several armed men. 3. President Paul Biya, Cameroon. The 89-year-old president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, is amongst the longest-serving African presidents. He has been the president of this country since November 1982. Yes, that's 40 years as president. Paul Biya moves with heavy armed personnel even in his area of jurisdiction. The Unity Palace of Cameroon, located in Yaoundé, the capital city, is where President Biya resides. The palace is one of the most guarded structures in the country. Formalities are always made before visitors get into this building. President Paul Biya rides a strongly armored Range Rover Sentinel vehicle, which costs over $500,000. He is always driven in a well-protected limousine on special occasions. This limousine is characterized by some people as one of the most expensive and classic vehicles on the continent. On Cameroon's National Day, President Paul Biya is always driven in a vehicle, surrounded by armed men at the time he wants to salute the public. During some special occasions that he has to attend, movement in and out of the event ground is usually restricted. 2. King Mohammed VI, Morocco. Members of royalties are one of the most protected groups in every society. King Mohammed VI is a royalty who doubles as ruler of Morocco. He hails from the Alawi dynasty and ascended to the throne in 1999 after his father, King Hassan II, passed away. King Mohammed VI is the 5th wealthiest monarch in the world and the richest king in Africa, according to Forbes magazine. King Mohammed lives in the Dar el-Maksin Palace, built in the 12th century. It is a popular and well-protected touristic attraction in Morocco, and its imposing walls and turrets are a testament to the power and majesty of the Moroccan monarchy. Visitors can admire the exterior of the palace, but are not allowed to go inside without permission. The king's presidential ride is an armored Mercedes-Benz car and several Range Rovers. He also uses a strong BMW and Humvees. 1. President William Ruto, Kenya. William Ruto took over control of Kenya from former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2022 and is serving as Kenya's 5th president. He rides in an armored Land Cruiser, and his presidential entourage consists of more than 10 heavy personnel. His motorcade consists of 10 high-speed motorcycles and 7 high-speed Toyota CUVs, Mercedes-Benz, and Range Rovers. President William Ruto lives at the State House, located in Nairobi. He has more than 40 personal bodyguards who protect and defend him, and there are more of these security men at the presidential palace. The top 10 most protected African presidents you have just seen do not just receive this attention because they are powerful, but also because of their social caliber. Even though other countries are spending so much on buying jets and cars and securing the president, the new president of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, has a different view. He is putting expensive presidential assets like the presidential jet and expensive cars on sale so that he can reinvest the money in the economy. He even said that all that money can be used to build new schools because he believes education will be beneficial to the economy of his country. What do you think of this? According to you, do presidents need such large and expensive protection? Leave a comment in the box below, and do not forget to hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it. Before we take leave of you, please subscribe to the New Tourist channel and switch on the notification button. This will permit us to know how helpful we are to you. Till then, see you in the next video.